Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Laverne from Rhode Island. I wanted to hop on here and talk about dementia proofing your home. As crazy as that might sound, you do need to do it. One of the first things that you might want to consider is a latch for your doors. And you can easily get this maybe under 20 bucks on Amazon. They kind of just go from the door over to the side and they latch over. Ours happens to be metal. Again, I think it was under $20 at Amazon. And it secures them because you have to pinch it and then pull it out and move it over. And unfortunately, when they have the dementia and as it progresses, they're not able to do functions like that. It's kind of odd, but it happens. So it was a really good item to get. Put it on any doors that they normally would walk out of. Not necessarily interior doors, because I would say interior doors, you're better off with that little knob that you use when you have children, that you don't want them getting into certain things. The knob lock, or whatever it may be called. And that also works very well for rooms that you might not want them in. Maybe it's their medications, maybe it's chemicals, maybe it's equipment for outside, stuff like that you just don't want them to get into if you're not fully paying attention to them. That's one other object. One other thing I'd like to recommend too is maybe one of those little indoor cameras. I think you can get them for like under 20 bucks or at least 20 bucks. Blink, Ring have them, just the little ones. You don't have to go spend a lot of money, but you can set it up where your person is most frequently in, and it just helps them to more helps you to monitor what they're doing, and then you can kind of see their actions too. You don't want to be weird, but you can kind of see what they're doing and how they're manipulating things, or moving around, or just kind of keep an eye on them instead of just being in there and staring at them and like, what are you doing that for? You're actually watching them from afar, so it's a little bit easier for that. So that's something else to consider. The other thing to consider is please take their keys away. It's crazy. If they drove anything, tractor, regular car, snowmobile, whatever it is, take the keys away, because trust me, they will find them and they will go out if you have not made precautions to avoid this. It wasn't a ride-on mower, but it was a regular lawn mower. We can kind of chuckle about it now, but my poor sister-in-law lost her dad a few years back to dementia. But at one point, her mother got up and found her father very late evening, early morning, mowing the neighbor's lawn. So he didn't know what time it was. He just knew, oh, I mow, so let me go mow the neighbor's lawn. It's okay that it's 1 a.m. and I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm making circles and I'm not really doing it right. So those are things to consider that we would never really think of, because, oh, well, they always did it. Everything's fine. They'll do it just fine. Not anymore, unfortunately. Again, it's a reality check, and it's really hard sometimes to face that reality. Again, like we talked about in the other video, denial. But reality is reality. So just try to keep all of that in mind. The other thing is, like I said prior, keep the medications away from them. Maybe there's somebody who just liked aspirin, but they don't know when to stop, and they forget, oh, I just took 2. Let me take 2 more. Let me take 2 more. So then that builds up really quickly. So just keep that in mind as well too, okay? So start to put things higher, maybe locked up. Also, if depending on their diet, like if they're a diabetic, or if they're a cardiac patient, or whatever it may be, and they can only have certain things, make sure that you don't keep the things that they're not supposed to have around them. Or if you do, keep them in containers, maybe like, solid containers so they can't see what it is, because they don't always open stuff very well. Keep it in the back of the refrigerator, because I noticed with my mom, she'll only just pay attention to what she can see, and then she closes the door and walks away. So keep it in the back. Your eggs, keep it in something that's a little bit more controlled, believe it or not, as crazy as it's going to sound, and they'll pick it up. And if their grip isn't good, or they then forget what they're doing, they just kind of drop and walk away. And you can't get mad, because they just don't know what they're doing. So now you've got messes on top of messes, and they could be dropping things if you have small animals, and they drop something that the animal shouldn't really eat, and then you can't blame the person and you can't blame the animal. So these are just things that I find to be helpful hints that we've had to learn the hard way around in the process. My mom has a dog, and when she first came home, we didn't realize she likes the sugar-free Werther's candies. Didn't realize that it has a poisonous content in it. She dropped one. She just handed it to the dog. We didn't really pay attention. We didn't know what was going on. Yeah, very big vet bill later, and almost lost the dog. Thank God we were able to catch her in time because her kidneys started failing because it was that xylem gum or whatever that is in there. So that stopped. We have to keep things away from her because, like I said, it's not intentional, but they will drop it. They will feed it. We have to watch her with even my dogs because my mom wants to share her food. Well, not all food can be shared with dogs. So you have to keep in mind that they require a little bit more attention than they ever did before. So kind of comes like child proofing. I call it dementia proofing. Keep those things away from them. It will save you in the long run. Not enough I can say about that. So kind of just a quick recap. Get that door latch. It's really great. If you're not sure and you can't find it, please let me know. I'll post a picture of it, even from Amazon where I got it. Think about those little doorknob handles. Keep them out of rooms that you don't want them in. Cabinet locks as well too. I didn't mention that. Cabinet locks, because they can't do the cabinet locks either. Or the ones that go inside or the external ones. Keep that in mind. Put things a little higher so they can't reach them if they're a shorty. Or behind, so even if they're tall, they can't really see it because they're not going to really venture to go. They're just going to look, in the front. So just keep that in mind as well too. Like I said, get some containers. Put stuff in colored containers because they're not very good at opening and closing things. And also too, depending on their strength as well too. So containers, things that you don't want them to have, the snacks that you don't want them to have, but you need for the kids or the family or whoever it may be. No one else should, deprive them of things just because you're caregiving for somebody who can't have it or has to have it controlled. So those are just little hints that I've picked up on. Extra cabinet. My mom doesn't do stairs very well, so I use some cabinets in the basement to put things away that I just don't want her to have. So those are little helpful tips. And then again, the keys. Take the keys away from them. You'll have a problem. Trust me, you will have a problem. And maybe one of those cameras keeps an eye on them. Just lets them know. And then two, if you see them doing something they can't be and you can't get to them right away fast enough, you can talk to them through the camera. Stop. What are you doing? And they're going to stop. And they're going to look at you. And then they're either going to get frustrated with you, angry with you, or they're going to be like, what? Huh? So those are things that happen. Trust me, they do. As funny as it may seem, it happens. And you can chuckle about it later. But when you're in the moment, you're kind of overwhelmed. And you're just like, wow, what is going on in life right now? So just keep all that in mind. But those are some things, again. And I'm not doing it to repeat myself at all. And I'm sorry if it sounds that way. I just like to make sure door latches, handle covers, putting objects higher or lower or in colored, containers so they can't see them. Putting away those keys, really important. And maybe invest in that camera. So if there's something else that maybe I forgot or you can think of and you want to share or ask me, again, please, I will post whatever I can find for you and put it there for you so you can see. I'm a big fan of Amazon. I shop on Amazon a lot. I just shop online a lot because it's really hard sometimes to get out. So I found those gadgets a lot, and they're cheaper. Like I said, even Walmart has them too. So just a thoughtful process. I will be on hopefully later. I'll come up with something else because there's so many things to let you guys know. But if you're finding it helpful, just drop me a line. Let me know. And thank you. And again, if I can just help one person and it helps them to make it easier for them, then we've accomplished what we're doing. All right. Have a great day until I talk to you again. Bye.